The sky tore open like bad fabric. Flames bloomed across the cockpit. Jackson Vale's seatbelt vaporized half a second before the emergency eject spat him out of the burning shuttle, upside down, shirtless, and screaming something inappropriate about penguins. He punched through 2 layers of bioluminescent vines before hitting mud so hard it burped. "Welcome to Karatol," the survival implant chirped in his ear. "Population, U. Probability of dying in 24 hours, 84%. "Lovely," he muttered, standing up and spitting out purple moss. "Maybe this time I'll die quietly." He wasn't 5 steps into the jungle before chaos exploded. Screams. Metallic shrieks. Something launched a spear through a tree trunk the width of a hovercar. Jackson sprinted toward the noise, cursed his ex-medic instincts, and stumbled into a clearing where it looked like a warrior goddess was being mauled by 3 mechanical dogs with circular soft faces. She bled green. He didn't think. He moved. 1 needle to her neck, healing foam. 1 wrenching pull of his spine trigger, combat mode. He didn't scream. He couldn't. Scar tissue around his voice modulator choked him in combat. So instead, he hummed. "Barbie girl." The first bot froze, confused. Offended? Jackson didn't wait to ask. He slammed a tree branch through its skull. 2 more lunged. 1 caught his arm, the other his leg. He sang louder. "Life in plastic." Boom. His elbow fractured something's face. A dismembered bot head rolled, blinking once, then died. The other exploded in a cloud of leaking coolant. Silence. Then, teeth. Sharp, glowing blue. The alien woman bit his neck. "Ow. What the?" She growled. "Alpha bond is sealed. I was trying to help, not adopt." But it was too late. Around the clearing, shapes emerged from the foliage, tall, sinewy warriors with bone armor and glowing eyes. They saw her teeth marks on him. They gasped. "He is chosen," one whispered. "Alpha Khan," said another, kneeling. Jackson backed away slowly. "I'm not your anything. I'm not even supposed to be here." Syrah, he learned her name later, stood tall beside him, her green blood already clotting thanks to his foam. She looked at him like he'd just volunteered to raise her children. "I claim him," she said. "I decline." Too late. That night, Jackson sat in a circle of fire and feathers while a 7-foot warrior painted his chest with something that smelled like soup and sadness. The tribe chanted. Drums pounded like war was 5 seconds away. He whispered to Syrah, "Can you please explain why you bit me? You healed me in battle. By Taliran law, you lead. The Alpha feeds, the Alpha bleeds, the Alpha commands. I don't want a command. I just want a blanket." She tilted her head. "Then why did you not run?" He had no answer. They gave him a bone crown and a stick with teeth on it. He held it like a dead squirrel. Syrah bowed. "The enemy will test you by dawn. Will you speak your chant of battle?" "Nope. Can't." "I hum." She didn't laugh. She roared, a full-bodied bark of laughter that made half the camp raise spears in alarm. You battle sing," she gasped between wheezes. "I battle hum. You are insane. Welcome to humanity." Dawn split the sky. A scout crashed into camp, breathless. The metal beasts return. War drums resumed. Spears were readied. Jackson was shoved forward by 2 warriors yelling something about divine collision. Syrah appeared beside him. "You lead. I barely know your names. You don't need to. You're Alpha." Her eyes gleamed. "Hum us to victory, soft-skinned freak." He sighed and stepped into the jungle with 30 alien warriors at his back. Another wave of those cybernetic nightmares awaited, clicking and twitching like they wanted blood. Jackson closed his eyes. "I'm a Barbie girl, in a Barbie world." It echoed off the trees. The bots hesitated. Then Jackson leapt, bone spear in hand, his feet moving faster than reason. His soldiers followed, howling war cries. Metal met bone. One warrior fell. Jackson dove, caught her, injected foam, spun, and disarmed a bot with one leg sweep. His voice never broke. Life in plastic, he hummed, ducking under a chainsaw limb and shoving a grenade into its spine. It's fantastic. Boom. They won. Barely. When it was over, the battlefield smoldered. Green and red blood pooled under the rising twin suns. Jackson stood, covered in mud, coolant, and alien admiration. Sarah walked to him, placed one clawed hand over his heart, and said, "You are chaos given form. My people will follow." He looked around. 30 warriors bowed to him. His eyes flicked to the sky. No rescue. No Earth. No going back. Jackson Vale, the man who lost everything, had just been made king of a tribe he didn't understand, on a planet that wanted him dead. "Great," he muttered. "Just what I needed. A fan club with spears." Jackson Vale never asked to be anyone's hero. Especially not barefoot, teaching an alien kid how to throw a spear while dodging fruit dropped by monkeys with wings. "Wider stance," he muttered. "And stop aiming like you're afraid of it." The kid, a wiry Taliran runt named Liku, squinted at him. "I am not afraid. I am calculating trajectory based on gravitational shift." Jackson raised a brow. "You're 10. You used your spear as a back scratcher 5 minutes ago." "I am 11, Liku growled. Jackson chuckled and tossed the kid a piece of fruit. "Then start throwing like it." The jungle shimmered around them, vibrant and vicious. Karatol was beautiful like a knife made of glass. Every leaf had teeth. Every breeze carried tension. They trained under the canopy while the rest of the tribe prepared for war. ZYRXA was coming. The High Warden had sent her drones again last night. Probes. Scouting. Jackson didn't need translation to understand, she wanted him. Or worse, she wanted the people who now called him Alpha. He hadn't slept. Not really. Sarah found him by the riverbank, crouched over a dying crab beast. Its carapace had been melted by a bot's plasma lance. Jackson injected foam anyway. "You always try to save the dying?" she asked. "No. Just the ones that didn't deserve it." Her eyes narrowed. "What did you deserve, human?" He didn't answer. She stepped closer. "You walk like a man carrying ghosts." "How many?" "Enough to make me hum instead of scream." The river bubbled in silence. "Earth doesn't make warriors like you," she said. He almost laughed. "Earth makes soldiers. Then breaks them." Later, they stood on the ridge overlooking a broken temple, once Taliran holy ground, now desecrated by scavenger machines. Scouts reported ZYRXA would move to seize it tomorrow. Jackson paced, restless. "I've fought wars for politicians who never bled. I won't do it again." Sarah crossed her arms. "But you are doing it." "Why?" He didn't know. Maybe because the tribe trusted him. Maybe because Liku now hummed Living La Vida Loca during training just to mock him. Maybe because Sarah looked at him like he was still salvageable. That night, a message came. ZYRXA's voice, cold and metallic, filled the camp via a reprogrammed probe. "You are not Alpha. You are infection. Surrender the tribe or watch them erased." Jackson crushed the drone with one foot. "Sweet talker," he muttered. Sarah watched him from the shadows. "There is another way." He turned. "Talk. Fast." "She offers me clemency. If I leave you." I refused. He blinked. "You could have taken the deal. I bit you, remember? I don't unbite lightly." For once, Jackson had no joke. Just a quiet breath. "Thank you." Morning came with blood. The ambush hit while Jackson and Liku were gathering flint near the training grove. Drones. 4 of them. No warning. Jackson shoved Liku into a ditch. Stay down. He scanned the area, too open, no cover. His implants screamed a warning, adrenaline spike, heart rate critical. He didn't speak. He hummed. Take on me. Off key, off rhythm, ridiculous, and somehow perfect. He ran at the drones with a branch in one hand and a broken spear in the other. One bot fired, missed. Jackson rolled, kicked, threw the spear through its eye. Two more closed in. One clipped his shoulder. Sparks flew. He dropped to a knee, blood pouring, but didn't stop humming. Take me on. The last bot lunged. Jackson ripped off his belt, wrapped it around his eyes, and stood. Blindfolded. Are you malfunctioning? One bot asked in binary. He whispered, wanna guess? Then spun, dropped, kicked upward, and headbutted the final bot into a tree so hard it short-circuited mid-scream. Silence. Then a quiet sob. Liku. Jackson crawled to the ditch. The kid was there. Shaking. Hurt, but alive. Jackson picked him up. Held him tight. You're okay. You're okay. Liku buried his face in Jackson's shoulder. I didn't hum. I forgot the song. Jackson choked on a laugh. Next time, we go with Spice Girls. Back at camp, healers worked on them both. Sarah arrived in silence. She watched as Jackson winced through painkillers and barked orders with his shirt half burned and a kid still clinging to his leg. You look terrible, she said. Thanks. Feels worse. You fought blindfolded. Yeah. Turns out, my PTSD trigger doesn't activate if I can't see combat. She crouched beside him. You are madness wrapped in flesh. I've been called worse. She leaned closer. You could have run. Let the child die. He looked her dead in the eyes. I already lost one team. I don't bury kids. Sarah said nothing. Then, quietly, you may not want to lead, Jackson Vale. But you already do. That night, the tribe gathered again. But this time, no ceremony. No feathers or drums. Just warriors watching a wounded man teach a child to throw again. Jackson adjusted Liku's stance, even as his own ribs ached. No fear. Just aim. The kid threw. The spear hit dead center. The tribe cheered. Sarah stepped beside him. Tomorrow, we take back the temple. Jackson nodded. Then whispered, then we make sure this never happens again. She placed her hand on his shoulder. Not as a soldier. Not as a scout. But as someone who believed he was worth more than what he'd been. The Temple of Cinders wasn't a temple anymore. Not really. Its obsidian spires jutted from the jungle like broken teeth, wrapped in vines and ash. Plasma burns scarred its front. Smoke oozed from the craters surrounding it, like the jungle itself was holding its breath. Jackson Vale stood at the edge of the clearing, armored in scavenged tech, dried war paint, and the belief of people he still didn't quite understand. Sarah stood beside him, twin blades on her back, jaw set. We go in together. He didn't answer. Just slid the blindfold from his pocket and tied it slowly over his eyes. She smirked. Seriously? He nodded. Trigger's still live. I fight better when I don't see. Then how will you find me if I fall? He smiled faintly. I'll listen for your sarcasm. The tribe stormed the temple as one, synchronized chaos. Jackson led, humming the ancient Earth War anthem, Oops. I did it again. The bots didn't stand a chance. He ducked laser blasts he couldn't see, flipped over a crashing sentry, and jabbed a blade through a mech's vocalizer. Sparks rained. A drone tried to outflank him. Jackson hummed louder, dropped into a slide, and kicked its legs out from under it. Behind him, Sarah moved like a flame, fast, brutal, elegant. She carved a path through metal and madness, laughing mid-battle. Mid-clash, one of the Taliran warriors shouted, Alpha hums. Alpha leads. Alpha improvises. Jackson barked, throwing a spear into a wall panel, triggering a door collapse that crushed 3 bots. They reached the core chamber. Silence. Then her voice. ZYRXA emerged from the shadows, metal wings humming, face covered in a chrome mask carved with ancient code. "You think chaos is leadership," she said, voice cold and too calm. "You're not a god, human. You're an accident." Jackson shrugged. "That makes 2 of us." "You came to destroy this," she said, gesturing to the AI core pulsing behind her, ancient and alive. "You should have joined me. I would have given you control." "I don't want control. I want peace." She raised a hand. A swarm of drones activated. Jackson pulled his blindfold tighter and whispered, "Knock knock." She blinked. "What?" He tossed a grenade. Boom. The blast sent ZYRXA flying. Drones scattered. Jackson dove, rolled, tackled 2 bots mid-air, then flipped onto the dais where the AI core pulsed like a living sun. Alarms screamed. "Authorization denied," the AI said, scanning his face. "Override," Jackson whispered. "Unit, Earth Special Forces Medic 17 Zulu. Code, you don't want to die today." Pause. Override accepted. ZYRXA screamed, lunging toward him, her metal claws outstretched. Jackson turned to her. Calm. Bloodied. Still humming. "You know what the difference is between a warlord and a medic," he said. She froze. He reached behind him. Pulled Sarah's spear from his back. "A warlord kills because she can," he said. "A medic only kills when there's no other choice." Then he threw the spear. Straight through her mask. She fell. Silence settled. Jackson staggered to the core. Looked at it. He had the codes. He could trigger a purge, wipe all AI directives, reset the system to protect organic life. But there was another option. He rewrote the protocol. Not to destroy, but to teach. The core dimmed. Then pulsed once. Acknowledged. Beginning instructional protocol, empathy. Outside, the jungle calmed. Jackson limped back to the tribe. Sarah met him at the ridge, blood on her armor, pride in her eyes. "You rewrote a god," she whispered. "No. Just gave it homework." She stepped closer. "They want to name you Eternal Alpha now." "Nope." "Great unblinking leader." "Worse." She tilted her head. "Then what should they call you?" He looked past her to the young warriors practicing in the clearing, Liku among them, laughing, humming, missing every target and not caring. He smiled. "Teacher." That night, there was no ceremony. Just fire, warmth, and breath shared between warriors who lived another day. Jackson sat on a log, teaching Liku how to reset a field dressing while balancing jungle fruit on his head. "You fall, you patch. You patch, you stand. That's the rule." "What if I patch and fall again?" Liku asked. Jackson handed him more fruit. "Then we try again." Sarah watched from the shadows for a while, then sat beside him. "You could have gone back," she said. The AI offered escape. "I wasn't running anymore." She nodded. "You stayed. That matters." Jackson turned to her. "So do you." A pause. Sarah leaned forward, fangs brushing his collarbone. "Do not tempt me to bite again." He grinned. Too late. Above them, stars blinked. The jungle sang a softer song. And for the first time in years, Jackson Vale didn't feel like a broken weapon. He felt whole.